Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Delta Flight Gaming. This is another episode of Freaky Friday, and we are still playing some Silent Hill 2. Now, God, I don't know why that this should bother me as much as it does. And that we're at this point. But apparently there's still been this discussion about whether or not there should be a quote-unquote easy mode in Sekiro. Long version? No. Short version? No. It's a Soulsborne game. It's from software. Those games are designed to be challenging. You know, and this stemmed from a video that I saw today, technically yesterday, Thursday, that basically was saying that that IGN was talking about this and that how they feel that it should have, you know, an easy mode so that way it can incorporate more players, and how they feel that games should be for everybody. Now, I don't deny that games should be for everybody. You know, they just shouldn't. But not every game is designed for you. Not every game is designed for me. You know, I am not a fan of the Halo games. Is that a first aid kit? Yes, it is. I'm not a fan of the Halo games. I bought the original Halo, the Xbox one. I think it came with the Halo 1 or Halo 2. I think it was Halo 1. If it's whichever one it is, please let me know in the comments below. But I played it. Took me about 3 days to get through it. Oh my god, that was awesome. That kind of takes away the horror element. Do we have another one? Please tell me there's another one. I am completely distracted now. I need to see... Yeah! Oh my god. Oh, I needed that. Oh, the end of the road. Alright, so anyways. So I beat the Halo or whatever, and just it didn't interest me. The story didn't interest me. I cranked right through it, and so I gave the Xbox to my brother. There's a circle, square, and a line. So going to Pete's Bowl-O-Rama. What are you looking at? Anyways, so. I gave the Xbox to my brother, and since then, I'm the reason why, oh my god, I did it again. I'm the reason why my brother plays on Xbox, and I play on PlayStation. Kind of funny and ironic in a way. But, so they were talking about how it should be more inclusive for everybody, which, again, all games should be made for everybody, but they're not. Some people hate the Final Fantasy series. I get that. I respect that. Because they're games that just don't appeal to you. That's fine. But just because a game is too hard doesn't mean that it should automatically have an easy mode so you can just, whack, just run through the bosses super quick. When you play the Dark Souls games, I can guarantee you anybody who's watching this video and has played Dark Souls or Bloodborne knows that feeling when you beat, for example, Father Gascoigne in Bloodborne. Or the Bell Gargoyles, or Nito. When you beat that enemy, and especially if you do it on like your second or third try. Like for me, I think it took me.
I'll wait here. I hate bowling.
You're a loser if you hate bowling.
I didn't come here to play,
Hurry back.
I would not want to be around you if you don't like bowling. That's just me. But like. When I first got up to the Cleric Beast in Bloodborne, I got I'll call it his, let's call it its. I got its health down to a third on my first try. It took me 2 more tries to get through it, and I finally did. And I figured out, I learned its pattern. That to me is what Bloodborne and the Souls games are.
So what'd you do? Robbery? Murder?
Nah, nothing like that.
Ha! You're just a gutless fatso.
What'd you have to say that for?
I thought you said the cops were after you.
Nah, I just ran because I was scared. I don't know what the cops are doing.
But if you did something bad, why don't you just say you're sorry?
The way that guy eats is kind of
Well,
gross.
I guess I run away a lot too.
It's no good. They wouldn't listen. Nobody will ever forgive me.
But, so going back to this, it's just, I just find it infuriating that I don't think that, you know, just because it's hard, it needs an easy mode. You know, if you want to get into Sekiro, if you want to get into Bloodborne, patience. Patience will be your friend. You know, I beat Bloodborne. You know, I enjoyed every moment of it. The hardest part for me wasn't the main bosses, it was the Chalice dungeons. There were 2 enemies that in the Chalice dungeons, I can't remember their names. Oh, that is so gross.
Eddie?
Oh, you're...
James. We, met in the apartment building?
Yeah, I remember, but...
Are you alone here, Eddie?
No.
Bye-bye.
Wait! Come back! Eddie! Let's go after her!
Huh? Laura? Why?
Laura. Is that her name?
Oh, that's what she said.
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
That's a good question. It sounds
She
like he's
said she was
vomiting
fine by
pizza.
herself. She said a fatso like me would just slow her down.
Forget you.
But with Bloodborne, with those Chalice dungeons, I want to say it was a headless demon. It was one of the bosses. And then the other one, he has a little sickle that in stage 2 of the boss fight, he takes the sickles and makes them into 2 and basically like doubles his speed. The only way that I was able to beat those, and I'm like, it took me, I don't know, days to get past those 2. With that headless demon, like once the headless demon gets to his phase 2, like a snake looks like it comes out of the neck. If that kind of reminds you.
Did a little
or helps
girl
you
run
with
out of here?
Who that is.
Yeah, she was too fast for me. Aren't you gonna go after her?
But where did she go? But the first to beat that one, my brother watched me beat it. I don't know why, but him watching me, it kind of felt like it was like, oh man, this is like more pressure on me. So I was like dead focused on everything that was in that TV screen. Nothing else was there. And then for that sickled demon dude, same thing. It wasn't my brother, it was my stepbrother. He sat there and watched it because I was telling him about the game. But to me, beating those, even Father Gascoigne and
She went through there.
beating some of those enemies were just so gratifying because it's like I learned it. I was patient. I didn't just run up and just spam
Is there
attacks.
any other way?
Yeah, there is. Right through there.
And I just don't think that just because it needs an easy mode, you want that fucking participation trophy nowadays. That's what people want.
It's no
and
good.
it's like, no,
It's
fuck
locked.
you. Just because a game is hard, it shouldn't cater to you. This even goes back to the, what was it? The gaming quote unquote journalist who couldn't beat the tutorial level of fucking Cuphead and said that the game was too difficult. I'm like, dude, you're just bad at games. If you can't beat the tutorial level. But I don't know. To me, it's just kind of one of those, like, it just made me just not. And when I was talking to a friend about this, his quote stance on it was just like how nothing really stands out anymore. There's nothing really like new content or anything that's like, oh my god, wow. That's, not like a negative way, but it's just kind of like there's just, everybody wants it since pretty much Fortnite that it's to be, everything should be for everybody, you know, difficulties and stuff like that. And I even told him, I was like, you know what, fine. What, even From Software is like, no, we're not going to do that because it's against our core concept, and it'll make you have to earn that trophy, that you earn that, you know, defeating that boss. You know, you earn doing that. But what I thought about, I even tweeted this too. I was like, you know what, fine. Here's what From Software should do. It's like, all right, fine. We'll put it in easy mode. You select easy mode. It's like, what was it, from Dark Souls 2 with, what's the one group you can join where, like, if you do, like, all the enemies have, like, double health or whatever, it basically makes the game even harder for you. That's what they should do. Double your enemy's health and give you half experience points. It's like, hey, you want it easy? We didn't say what easy was. This is just to cater to you complaining and whining about it. So,
Over there.
I don't know. That's my opening rant. And now that I kind of feel like I've vented enough, let's get on to the topic of horror. I bought, and this was probably about a year ago, the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark trilogy. Just because those, I used to read those when I was in 4th and 5th grade. You know, those were like brand new back then. Or at least, well, Scary Stories 3 came out in 91. Scary Stories 2 came out in 84. But I still remember reading number 3 from that, is it Scholastic Book Fair or whatever? When, like, at least it's for us, and we, like, once a year, you'd come in and you look at this, like, catalog of all these books, and then you'd go home and tell Mom and Dad, hey, Mom and Dad, I want this book, and this book, and then they would buy for you, and then a couple months later, it's like, you know, Amazon, but before Amazon. And so I figured, you know what, with that movie that's coming out, I would read all 3 books. Cheesy as all get out right now. Those are like really, really cheesy. But I mean, again, 1984, 91, 81, you know, they're supposed to be based off of folk stories. So, going back, I was watching the movie trailer. The only thing that I read from all 3 of the books that was in the trailer was the little girl when she goes up to the bathroom and the little thing pops out of her head, or out of her cheek, with its little leg, which is a spider leg. That is the only thing that I could find that was actually in those 3 books. So I was thinking about it, I'm like, where are the other 3, or the other 2? I think it's 2 that you see. There's like the big, like, blobby fish-like woman in the hospital. And then there's the, what is it? It looks like a man, like a scarecrow man, which I think comes from the story in the 3rd book called Harold, where it's just basically 2 guys who, in the summer, they are farmers and they take their cattle up into the mountains where it's cooler and there's more grass and they can just graze for a couple months until it gets cold and then they come back down. Well, there was a rival neighbor farmer who they didn't like, so they would just, you know, they made a straw form of him and just kind of like, you know, yelled at him. If they were mad at him, they would smear their food on his face and stuff like that. And then one day it grunts. So they kind of just like let it be. So that's what I'm assuming it is. The story is called Harold. But that's the only one I'm assuming. But that fish woman man thing, that's I think it's a hospital. At least it looks like it's a hospital. That's the only one I wasn't able to like find. But yeah, I think I cranked through all 3 of those books in about 2.5 hours. With like, because I was eating cupcakes. I was eating ice cream and taking a break. I was doing laundry at the same time. So, but I mean, you know, like I said, they're cheesy, but they aren't bad for what they were. You know, scary stories for kids, essentially. And then, after I finished those books, I decided I would do the more challenging task of reading Dune. I've had that book, man, I bought it from a bookstore, used bookstore, and I guess it was an Amazon, or not Amazon, a Barnes & Noble exclusive version. So it's like a hardbound, I guess you could say a spice orange color to the book with like the gold trim around the pages. I got it for like $12, and when I was looking on the back of it, it was like a $30 book or $40 book, so I can't complain. And I've watched the movie a couple times, and I hear everybody who's ever read the books and then watched the movie basically said the movie sucks, which by default, you know, no movie has ever been on par. Well, I shouldn't say that. Very few movies have been on par with the books. Sorry, I was hearing the neighbors. I thought they were... I was thinking, oh shit. I'm getting the nurses. Shit. Oh. Fuck off. Seriously? I think I have to switch to the gun here. Holy shit. Okay, that's gonna be a fucking pain in the ass. Great. I can handle that acid spitting dude and the mannequin leg thing. That thing. Because the first thing it does is it swings. I think this is where the quote-unquote challenge might begin to come up a bit. Okay, so, well, there is one thing I did like, is the fact that if I ever walk around in the blood that's just kind of dripping out, you actually will see him walk away with bloody footprints. Nope, that's locked. Can't get the door open. Examination room key. Okay, none of those open. Hey. Camera! I thought I killed it. Alright, cool. Here's what we're gonna do. Back around. And stay dead. You're alive too? What the fuck? The blood spills out. I thought that was the it is dead. Alright, whatever. Teddy bear.
Ow.
What's wrong?
I just pricked myself.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yep, that's going to be for a puzzle. Not sure what, but it's going to be a puzzle. Now, here's my question. Why in the fuck is a shotgun in a hospital? Not sure why I'm equipping this again, but at least these things are dead. First aid kit. I need one of you guys. Thank you. Doesn't look like anything else is there. Got no use for this. What is it? Sheet of carbon paper. 9598. Can help him anymore. The button doesn't scare me, so nobody can stop who I am. I don't know who I am. Is who I am. Is who I am. Is who I am. Is. So 9598. Lapis eye key. Smells nothing back that way. This is, I know this is a stupid idea. Oh, come on. I really want to conserve bullets, but I want bullets or health. You know what I mean? Alright, go, go, go! I mean, thankfully, I don't ever have to come into this room again. Like, what are you looking at? Are you looking at her? Oh no, you're looking at that. Just cause. we're gonna fuck it. Just... You better stay dead this time. Huh. Well, what about you? Yes, we can. Okay, what do I need to grab from here and never come back to? Health drink. Those bullets. Shotgun bullets. You know, that was always something I've always been curious about, is why they call them bullets and then they call them shotgun shells. I don't know. That's just my weird mind just kind of... You know, like the whole, was it, we drive on a parkway and park on a driveway? It's something, it's just me being stupid. Okay, so let's see if I can't get up to the 3rd floor. Hopefully I can find a save here soon so I can wrap up this episode, because I don't want it to go too long. I know some people have complained about the length that I run my videos. I am trying to cater to it, don't get me wrong. It's just there's some of these episodes that are you don't get much done in like 15-20 minutes. Can I get through those doors? Oh wait, I have the examination room key, don't I? Can't get through here, no. Yes. Okay. Shotgun shells. Oh, nothing over here. Uh, 7335. Okay. Now it's unlocked. I think there's a save point right around here somewhere, so I think I'm just going to wrap this up on this one. And again, sorry if I wasn't too involved in the actual gameplay. It's just something I had to, my little opening rant, I just had to get it going and get it off my chest. But next episode, I'll be more focusing on this game, and you know, but at least, you know, at least I'm not just like dead quiet, you know. I'd rather talk through the whole commentary as opposed to not. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week for another episode of Freaky Friday.